Hey everybody. I've been posting a lot of screenshots of Diablo lately on my blog, and I thought I'd take a chance to try out a little bit of video and show you a little bit of some of my gear and my skill set. Currently, I'm playing as a barbarian. I haven't tried the Crusader yet. I did at BlizzCon and I really enjoyed it, but I've been having a lot of fun in adventure mode, so I thought I would kind of stick with the barbarian for a while. Going on to some of my inventory and character screen stuff here, you could see that my strength's pretty high right now. I'm still getting used to the post Reaper of Souls numbers. I can't tell if these numbers are that great or not. I can play on torment level 1 solo, also level 2 solo, although it takes quite a while, and I have to use a shield. Um, just to go through some of my details, I'll just leave them up here while I talk a little bit. Um, Again, I'm no theory crafter or anything. I'm just some guy playing with my buddies, on the weekends and weeknights and stuff. I've found that the life per hit and the life per second seem to be two of my better stats, especially when paired with Rogar's Huge Stone. I find that I'm able to stay alive a lot longer. This has a lot to do with how much life I can gain per second, or if I could just walk around for a few seconds and then return. Um, Both my weapons, both Sever and Exarian, do not have any life on hit, so I'm getting it from other gear right now. I suspect that if those were both a little bit higher, both in damage and in some sort of life per hit, maybe I would get a little bit farther besides Torment level 2. On some of the skills I've been using, this is my skill set. I'll leave it open so you can look at it here. I find that Rend with Bloodlust is my primary opener. The fact that you get life per second for each hit is a big deal, and it's a percentage of life. I was using Revenge a long time ago, especially before Reaper of Souls came out, but I found that even though I do like how Revenge is now a spell that can be kind of, put in your not in your inventory, but it could be banked for later, and you can use it whenever you want. I thought that was nice, but I've had a lot of problems with Revenge in the past where I really needed it to proc, and I wasn't getting the hit. I wasn't going off, and I was dying. I know it does more life than Rend, but Rend is at least constant. And again, the way my play style is, I usually run in with the Rend immediately. And if I start to get low on health, I kind of run around a little bit. Primarily, I use Frenzy. Once I get my Frenzy built up, I just start dropping hammers. I've noticed that enemies now are immune to fire. Some of them, as you notice, both Frenzy and Hammer of Ancients are fire damage. Those are really frustrating enemies. I always either run away and go back to town and respec, or I just rend them to death, which is really painfully boring. Although I do have some gear that is plus the fire damage, so that's kind of nice to have both of those. I use the Wrath of the Berserker on every elite pack that I can. It gives you a great boost, gets you out of any of the frozen orbs or anything like that, or the frozen mines that freeze your guy. You're immune to those. They're great. It's great for just breaking out of those kind of status impairing effects. Also, the confusion where an enemy will make nightmarish, where he'll make you run around pointlessly. I always keep both shouts up, both Marauder's Rage and Invigorate. I've changed Invigorate a little bit, but as you can see here, I like the life per second. And again, I think that's part of my build, is trying to keep life as fast as I can. As far as my passives, I have two swords now, so just for the guaranteed weapon damage, I've put on Weapons Master. I still find myself Fury starved a little bit on the expansion. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. I used to use an Immortal King set, which gave me extra Fury, but If I don't have Unforgiving on, I feel like I'm not getting as much Fury as I can. I know that's kind of a wasted passive, but it is right now my only real solution to keeping Fury up. I like Inspiring Presence again based on my build of getting maximum life every second, and Brawler simply because there's just such it's the density of monsters is enormous in this game, so it really makes a lot of sense for me to have that on. I played with some of the other passes, but this is just the build that works for me. Again, I'm no theory crafter. I'm not saying it's the most optimal build in the planet or that you have to use this build to win. It's just what works for me, and I thought I'd share, primarily because I've been posting a lot of blogs and stuff about some of the weapons I'm getting and some of the things I'm seeing in the expansion. And people have been asking me, and rather than write this all out, I figured I'd try some video capturing software and throw my hand in the YouTube world, just to show people what's going on. The only other thing I really wanted to mention here was that I've noticed that in this expansion, health is ridiculously higher than it used to be. I used to have 60,000 health, and I thought that was like insane. And I'm over 400,000 now. I've alternated on putting strength gear, strength gems in versus vitality gems to get a little more life or a little more strength. I've actually just settled on some resistance gems. I know they're not the best diamonds in the game, and you're probably laughing at my armor, but this was actually a really big upgrade for me. My friend gave it to me. But resistances and the plus 600s I always felt was pretty good. If I do put on my war cry, it doesn't increase, as you can see, because I don't have on the right rune. However, if I did, those would go up a little bit higher. But again, my life per second does increase. So to have that kind of life per second, again, in tandem with this ring, really keeps me out of a lot of pinches. And I find I could just kind of run around. I'm not always as efficient. I'll have to rend and kind of circle around, but it works. The last thing I wanted to briefly mention was the Paragon levels. I have given up on Vitality, again, solely because I feel like I have enough health. So I've currently gone pure Strength. I don't find the maximum Fury helps me that much. Although I said I was Fury starved, getting more Fury doesn't seem to help. If I have a 5 stack of Frenzy, I can get off 6 hammers before I run out of my Frenzy, keeping it on, keeping the 5 stack going. So if I had more Fury, that wouldn't help me because I'd have to go back because my attack speed isn't that fast yet. So that's why I stick with Strength. I've split between, I was just mentioning attack speed, although I don't have anything here. I haven't really been using that. I've kind of split my points evenly. I alternate between critical hit chance and damage. The cooldown reduction doesn't really help me so much. The only thing I have a real major cooldown with would be the Wrath of the Berserker, but 120 seconds, I don't really mind. Usually I'm playing with my friends, and we'll stop for a second if we're not ready, or if we see a goblin, we'll just wait. Under the defensive stuff, I've gone pure resist all. I was going to do life regeneration, but again, because I've already kind of stacked that on some of my other statistics, I really don't feel I really need that right now. And as far as utility, again, I've done life on hit because my build is basically just to get as much health as quickly as possible. Resource cost reduction, I have played with that because I did mention earlier I was Fury starved, but I found that even maxing that out, it didn't really seem to give me, let's do it here and see what it does. It didn't really seem to give me a significant amount of reduction to where my Fury, I don't know, it didn't seem like it'd do a whole lot for me. And again, based on my attack speed, and I'm sure I could fiddle with the offense and try to increase that a little bit. Based on my attack speed, I can get off, like I said, about 6 hammers before my 5 stack of Frenzy ends. So I switch back, so having more Fury doesn't really seem to help me at this point. Anyways, that's my build. That's what I've been using right now. Obviously, it's very weapon and item dependent in this game, and that's one of the few things that I really like about the new expansion. getting some of the new legendaries. Like I just picked up Pride Fall the other night. That was really a big win for me. I really like that one. Although the legendary ability doesn't seem to help me so much, it is nice to have the resource cost reduced by 30%. So, with a full tank of Fury, I can get off a couple hammers before I get hit. The level 70 Vile Ward Shoulders are pretty, actually 69, I'm sorry. Vile Ward Shoulders were a big upgrade, and the Rogar's Stone, obviously, was a big deal. So I still have some pieces, as I kind of just glance over here. You could read it as I'm talking. I still have a few pieces of gear that I could probably, upgrade in a little bit better capacity. Some of the stuff I have is more like welfare epics. But, I'm still I'm still getting used to what good numbers are supposed to be. I haven't really figured it out. It seems like people are really just stacking high Paragon levels, but even today I was in a Torment 1 public game playing with people who are Paragon level 300 and 400. And I understand there's a trade-off between the speed of the game and the how fast you're killing versus legendaries, and what's the actual increased chance of new skills. But I don't know. That just seemed like they were really high. I mean, I feel like at 84 I should be moving on to Torment 2. Like I said, I do piddle with it a little bit with my buddies, but I'm not really comfortable yet. I seem to die a lot more often. I definitely have to use a shield. The shield I'm using is currently been given to my friend here, Cormac. I like it because of the resist elements. It gives you a little extra strength and a little extra vitality. I don't really care so much about the damage per hit in the secondary. I would probably respect that into something else if I got something a little bit later. I go back and forth on whether or not I want to do sword and board or not. I kind of remember the skill at BlizzCon, and I could be wrong when I was there. The passive sword and board, I thought it actually just gave you more damage. Getting more fury is nice because you'll be blocking a lot. I mean, if you are blocking a lot, but you'd really have to get a shield that had increased blocking. But the fact that it just regenerates fury, I don't really block a whole lot, so it doesn't really seem that great for me. And like I said, I really think that at BlizzCon this was increased damage to kind of make it more viable. It seems most barbarians now are using 2 one-handers. That's what I'm using. Although I have seen other ones that alternate back and forth between two one-handers and then the one big, like the big sledges. But for me, the best sledge I found, you could see it obviously it's not socketed with the critical gem, which would make a pretty big difference, but it doesn't really seem to help me very much. That's not the right one. I'm sorry. There you go. Oh, that one's got intelligence. I used to use Scorn. Let's see. I guess I don't have it here. That's intelligence. Yeah, real professional YouTubing here, by the way, guys. Yeah, I guess not. I guess I sold them all. I mean, obviously I would respect that for strength, but even I've had a similar drop with strength, but it still seems the 2 one-handers are superior right now. Maybe they'll fix that later. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Anyways, just thought I'd post a video here showing everybody what I've been up to in Diablo Reaper Souls. I'm more into the blogging than the writing, as you could probably tell by my lack of cool production and sound effects and me rambling and stuttering and probably using some grainy video recorder that looks like garbage. But hope you liked it. Leave me a comment or check me out on my blog, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.